Good morning. It's a wonderfully bright and crisp day here in England, and today we're back looking at the Project S-Type. There's some more programming work to be done on the car. ECM, the engine control module. So here's S-Type all sitting comfortably on the lawn. We'll be looking to warm the car up, and then I'll connect up my Jaguar SDD IDS software, and we'll look to reflash or recalibrate, reprogram the engine control module. So there is a technical service bulletin out there that suggests you should do this if you experience some of the issues that I've been experiencing with the gearbox. So last week we did the transmission control module successfully. That didn't quite fix the issue. It did drive better, but it's still there, the issue. So we're now looking at doing the the engine control module. So I'm going to warm up the car, plug everything in, and then we'll go from there. I am aware that during the last video I didn't give you an opportunity to see the setup I use. I described it, but because the weather was quite poor, it was raining quite heavily, I didn't get an opportunity to show the configuration I have here at the back. So down here is obviously the battery. The battery is connected via its positive and negative terminals onto my CD Premier. Now, I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and zoom in a little bit just here. But you can see here I've got this in direct support mode. So rather than charging mode where you have all the different phases, this is providing a consistent 14 volts or out thereabouts and 15-16 amps, but it's direct power in support mode, which is ideal for supporting the car whilst I'm doing some programming. You can see here I've also got plugged in my charger just here. That runs through. I've dropped the back seat to allow cables to go through, and in the front here you can see I have my laptop running Jaguar SDD. I've also got my fully programmable Mongoose cable connected into the OBID 2 port over there, and you can see I've got the power supply connecting as well, so I have a full battery going on there as well. So currently just reading some DTCs. We fixed the issues concerning the audio voice module and audio telephone module caused by fibre breaks, so I'm quite keen to do a rescan of the codes and also see if that infamous C1777 code has come back. So more on that later. So what I'm now going to do, once I've gone through all the codes and everything, I'm then going to look to access the extras menu. Now, to get all of the extras menus options available, it is all very context driven. So in the selected symptoms tab, I wonder if it'll let me do it whilst it's scanning. Let's have a look. Yep, you can see here I've got chassis and powertrain, braking system. On the powertrain options I've got engine system selected, and also the automatic transmission. So I'm hopeful when it all goes through and we've read the finished reading the codes, then on the extras we should see an option to reconfigure the engine control module, which I'll be doing very shortly. Okay, I ran the code checker, code scanner, should I say. It came back with 0 related events, but a number of unrelated events. I have actually reset and cleared down the codes. There was a couple of erroneous ones from where the D2B network was being configured. Not configured, but replumbed. It thrown a few codes. I did see the infamous C1777 code in there, which is really frustrating. I thought that was definitely fixed. It definitely isn't fixed. So I think what I'm going to do now, first of all, I'm going to look to reconfigure the powertrain module. And when I say that, what I actually mean is configure the existing module, powertrain control module, which I think is the same as the ECM is effectively. There may well be an update available on Jaguar SDD for the powertrain control module. So we'll run that. I think that may help. I did see a technical service bulletin relating to the reflashing of both the transmission control module, which was done last week, and also the reflashing of the powertrain control module with a more up-to-date version. So I'm going to run that through there. That hopefully will take care of the gearbox issue. The C1777, I'm now more thinking that's probably an electrical issue.
So if I get time, and I may well cover this in another video, I want to focus on doing some pin tests or pinpoint tests with the, I think it's the FE103 ABS DSM DSCCM connection plug, and also the plug that goes into the brake solenoid valve, brake solenoid, not solenoid valve, brake solenoid, just to see if we do some continuity and voltage test, because I'm now suspecting that there may actually be an issue with the wiring perhaps, and at least we should rule this out. So I'll hopefully be doing that at some point. But meanwhile, let's crack on. I'm going to go through the Powertrain Control Module reconfiguration. So let's go and run that. As with previously, this can take up to 2.5 hours. So let's do this. Make sure the key is in the ignition belt and the ignition is switched off. Right, let's turn it off. That's now off. Okay, we've got the car in park. That's all fine. Okay, and set the ignitions on. There we go. Wait a few seconds for that to initialize. Click the OK or tick button. Right, here we go. Yes, I do. Yes. There we go. Now you may well recall that we had similar version checks running previously. You can see now it's gone straight into programming. So J18 3 litre naturally aspirated. Now this process will probably take between 2.5 hours, which is why it's really important you've got a power supply that's able to provide support voltage and current whilst this operation is going on. It can be quite intensive sometimes, so the last thing you want is to have this operation fail halfway through and potentially brick one of the modules, most likely the Powertrain Control Module. So what we'll do, we'll leave this and we'll come back to it in a couple of hours to see how we've got on.
Okay, it's been about 2.5 hours and I've come back and it looks like it's finished. So I'm just going to do the final steps of turning the ignition off, which is done. I'm going to continue on there. I'm going to turn the ignition back on again, like so. And then hopefully we'll just be in the last stages where it's clearing down all of the fault codes. Remember, it's taken out the ECM or the Powertrain Control Module, which means everything downstream won't be visible and there'll probably be loads of errors. So it does a clear down, a code clear down post programming. Just turn the ignition off again. Click OK. Turn it on again. Okay. Here we go. So it's just going to read through some codes again. We know about those two codes. There we go. There we go. So we've got a reference here, calibration file loaded, J18 N30 PM.bin. Okay. Click OK on that now. And that should just boot us back to the menu. So the Powertrain Control Module is now being updated successfully. So what I'm going to do is just go and check for some codes. So I'm going to go back into recommendations at this point and just pop down and find the section that says to reread all the trouble codes. So I'm going to do that now. You've seen this before, so I don't need to video this, but I'm just going to make sure that everything's okay. So just to confirm, the two codes relate to the servo flat motors. I just couldn't remember what they were, but I've done a rescan there. And we just see we've got a FETM control module configuration failure. That's related to the parking aid module. A couple of the sensors are playing up and they'll re-trigger when we take that for a test drive. which is why that's showing that error at the moment. So otherwise everything's done. That's how we do it, nice and straightforward. I'll now disconnect everything and we will go for a bit of a test drive to see if it's fixed the issue.